Akwaba Biso, Akwaba Ma, Igbo Mozo Mozo, Ekene Mono. I remain Akpanakpana Suko, your own very good brother. All lovers of freedom, seekers of justice, my good followers, I greet you today in the spirit of the Yuletide. I hope you are celebrating well. Without much ado, I am coming out today from my shell to crack the camel back. The truth has to be said. The Igbo man is the problem of the Igbo man. The Igbo man is the enemy to himself. No amount of antagonism from any enemy of the Igbo man is enough to dislodge him. Only that from the same Igbo man that is able to undo him. That is to say, the undoing of the Igbo man is the same Igbo man. The Igbo man is a man born naturally with great potential to do exploit. But the bane of the Igbo man is the Igbo man. The bane of the success of an Igbo man, the limitation that an Igbo man witnesses east of the Igbo man. Not beating around the bush, coming out more plain. The long pursued freedom the Igbo man have championed, which includes the neighbors of the Igbo man, has always been headed by the Igbo man and has always been frustrated by the Igbo man. The Igbo man is always quick to point an accusing finger at everybody around him except himself. From the point of reality, God has made the Igbo man such a great person, such that nobody can stop the Igbo man but Igbo man himself. I want to stop beating around the bush. The Biafra agitation, from time immemorial, for those who are students of history, especially of the contemporary history, you will know that the quest for self-determination have been pursued by people of different continents, and people from different continents and different climes have achieved this, not lasting as long as the Igbo man and his neighbor has lasted in this same pursuance. Why is the Igbo man never making any headway? The Britain has been fingered, Great Britain has been fingered, America has been fingered, Fulani has been consistently fingered, better. Every person, the Yoruba has been accused of stopping the Igbo man, while nobody can 100% exonerate any of these persons or these people, collection of persons or people that have been accused in partaking in the conspiracy that stopped the Igbo man, it is also very incorrect for anybody to think that these persons or this group of people are totally to blame or have more than 30% hand as to why the Igbo man have not succeeded in this pursuance. The Britain, yes, has done something, but have not come out directly to do that. It has been all a proxy effort, which proxy efforts doesn't work against a people who are very well organized and who know what they stand for. Proxy effort only works when or against a people who are confused, disgruntled, and have no determination to achieving their goal or towards achieving their goal. Coming to leaving America, Britain, and every other foreign powers, coming home, the Fulani man has been the problem, yes. To what extent is the Fulani man the problem of an Igbo man? As intelligent as the Igbo man is, do you really think that the Fulani man has what it takes to stop the Igbo man? The answer, I don't want to give it to you. I want to answer it myself. The answer is no, they don't. The Yoruba doesn't. Who has the capacity to stop an Igbo man? It is the Igbo man. In everything I want to say, I must be fair to myself and to nature by exonerating at least the two people who has distinguished themselves by commitment, by dedication, by sincerity of purpose, and in all what have you, by sacrifice. I must exonerate Ohamadike one of the whole Biafran land, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Ukwu, the man who fetched himself the position of a leader, and who wields the greatest influence in the whole of African continent. Natural influence, not monetarily induced. I have the second person whom after Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Simon Ekpa. He has committed himself. He has paid his dues. Even the enemy can attest to this. Be that as it may, it is now time for me to come out plain as to why I have to come out of my shell today. The current quagmire in the Biafran Republic government in exile, which should I say transmogrified into the United States of Biafra, although till today it remains a government in exile, even though some people are still lying to themselves. And these are people who are not ready, don't have even anything it takes to take it out of that status. The confused Igbo man, as exemplified by these two factions that have come to smear the image and the labor of Simon Ekpa, who also built on the effort of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. Today, while I want to do justice to this issue, please, I am very open to anyone who wishes to criticize me. I want to say to those who will be disappointed at me for this program, put up your argument as to why you are disappointed or you will be disappointed at me doing this program. While you want to express your disappointment, I don't think I give a damn. I am instead going to say I am very disappointed at some people whom I had respect for, because I used to think they are people of integrity or people of good wisdom, who have people who I should, or I had expected, I had thought they have fair understanding of life. There are a lot of them I am not disappointed at, because I have never known them as responsible people. A lot of them are very shameless, especially some of them who are in the media, who are anyway believers. That they are not involved in some of the scandals going on is because they were not privileged to being having access to all this unruly behavior of pouncing on money or jumping at opportunities, not caring about integrity. While it is possible that I will also say that some of those people in the media whom I have no respect for, but by some of their actions, even I have no respect for them till today, but some of their actions, like those of the actions that showed proved integrity, where they refused to collect money, at least. And some of them were collecting until they felt they were the money they were collecting was about going to control them, coming out more plain. Dr. Orabueze and the Nkere, all the propaganda, the blackmail, counter accusations and accusations, the saga as a whole, it's so very shameful of you people. I have tried to keep away from social media, not to discuss these issues, but I have seen that none of you, neither Nkere nor you, Orabueze, are willing to get some sense. Accusations, accusations, accusations. Everybody that disagrees with you is an enemy. I am more bitter at Orabueze because I have once held her. I once held her while our PM was in charge, and immediately after the ordeal, I held her not until I realized that even you, Orabueze, from all indications, don't seem to mean well, don't seem to build on the existing effort of this man who has sacrificed so much. It is so very appalling, I must confess. It's very, very, very disappointing, very disheartening, I must say. While I know, because it's not a news, it's not surprising, I already know that Nkere is a man that has so much pride. At least for those of the ministers or cabinet members that I am in touch with, all of them have said one thing. What they do say is, they talk very negatively about the bad behavior of Nkere, especially how he looked down on people, which is a highway to robbing him of anything that has to do with leadership potential. Every leader must have some good courage, but it doesn't translate into being rude or treating people in an unruly manner. Because you can't make any good leadership. Leadership doesn't end with one man. Leadership is a collective effort. So being a collective, anyone who you disregard or you disrespect will not give his or her best in supporting the movement or the thing you are cheering. So against that backdrop, Nkere, you should know it is a very big deficit on your part. On the part of Orabueze, Orabueze is very domineering. Yes, a leader ought to be very vocal. For those of you who have read the 48 Laws of Power, a leader must be feared and loved. What transpired between the Orabueze camp and the Nkere camp is one, the show of affluence. While Orabueze is always on the top gear to show that she can do, Nkere is always out to also show that he has more money. Orabueze also in the show of her own rudeness too, but she is more politically tactful than Nkere, in the sense that while according to all the stories that have been flying, which when you hear stories you can decipher where truth is and where it is not, the accusations of giving money to some media personnel is not really very deniable. Media personnel, nothing like personnel. It's not really very deniable, but then it is not a crime. It's not a crime. It is allowed in politics. But then the problem is that they don't know that it is not yet time for politics. Politics, that level of politics is divisive for a movement that is at the pampering stage, where over 80% of the activities of the movement is at that delicate state where everything should be pampered, must be handled with utmost care. Playing such level of politics is very, very destructive in a movement like this. You can play that when after everything you have taken your space. So, for me not to deviate, Orabueze, anybody who wants to say the truth knows that she is a domineering type. Orabueze outsmarted Nkere. She utilized the rudeness of Nkere, which over at least over 68% of the members of the cabinet were not in well with. Although this rudeness is not known to greater followers of Simon Ekpa, who are not members of the cabinet. Do you know why? Because the rudeness is only exhibited in-house amongst them. Nkere is not really in the social space. So that's why a lot of people still follow him. They follow him, they don't know about this part of him. And this part of him doesn't have anything to do with the greater Biafran people, whom only what they want is to be free. They want to have a home of their own. They want to be in a place where they will, be safe, and they have a level playing atmosphere for everyone who is serious to thrive. So the politics of the cabinet doesn't concern them. That is why many people follow him. Now, on the blackmail that is flying left, right, and center. Okay, let me finish this part. So it is to that end that Nkere lost relevance amongst the cabinet members, except for those who are still with him now. Then coming to those who are in that his camp today, over 40% of them are not with Nkere because they love him or they have seen him possessing certain quality. No, they have gone to Nkere camp because Nkere till today have not done anything that is against. He has not proven anything that is against the structures that Simon Ekpa kept in place or put in place. Nkere has not done anything contrary to the structures. Nothing, not one thing, not even one thing. Every of his excesses were done when Simon Ekpa was much available. All his inability to or unaccountability and every of that was done while Simon Ekpa is in charge totally. The was in charge. Then looking at who amongst these people that has really done or gone contrary to what Simon Ekpa laid down. Truth be said, Dr. Orabueze have gone against virtually everything. Starting from the logic of after declaration of Biafra, let's put one thing straight before we proceed. Orabueze convinced us that why she changed the date of the declaration was because they were the heralding of this undoing, the heralding of sabotage. That she foresaw there was an intention by a certain people in the house to frustrate the whole event. So against that, or in view of that, she had to rally around some members of the cabinet, and they agreed to change the date. Well, I argued against that, but when I saw the reasoning, I said, okay, I think it might not be out of place, given the reasons. Before we were told that the enemy wanted to, do some naughty things, so she did. It's okay, no problem. The problem started by the duels overbearing political ambition. Take it or leave it. Orabueze and Nkere have overbearing political ambition. The one thing that I have been working so hard to prove is their connection to the enemy. I am struggling to prove that. Now, looking at among the two, who has gone contrary to the Simon Ekpa's laid-down structures, Orabueze is the one that has at least more than 80% violated all that. Starting from the after declaration, we will dissolve the cabinet. Then you ask yourself, who will dissolve the cabinet? Simon Ekpa said, we will dissolve the cabinet. After the declaration, we will dissolve the cabinet. Let's not even go to, we will still talk about who are the we. When is that time? A lot of the sheepish followers have said that Simon said immediately after, which is not what Simon said. Assuming that is what he said, does it transcend to mean that on the ground of this activity, that is not what it can translate to. It will never translate to they say immediately after, according to those that want to twist it. So Simon said after, then they said immediately after, no problem. So does it translate to being on the ground of, you can say that is the same problem that is why a lot of people check the followership that Simon Ekpa was enjoying. These two factions together now, put together, they are not the followers of Orabueze today and the followers of Nkere today. Put together are not up to 1/10 of the followers of Simon Ekpa. Because they did not meet up with the popular dictum that two good heads are better than one. What is evident today is that there are two bad heads. So, and from the logic of this dictum, two bad heads are not even up to one. So, two bad heads is negative. Can never be positive because they are bad. Check here is bad, check here is bad. How anybody who is still talking Biafra today, you should, like I in the last program, go and consult your chi, appease your chi, tell your chi to help you release Mazen Namdekano and make Simon Ekpa gain his freedom. Absolute again. Otherwise, please go and continue with your business. These two are not taking you anywhere. Did you hear me? These two, Nkere and Orabueze, they are not taking you to anywhere. You will see. After this saga, it is then you will know that all this accusation, it is Nkere, or it is this, you will know that they are both your enemies. Because till today, I can't prove exactly what is the connection. But if the two mean well, they should have been able to, it is over 3 weeks, it is a month now, they should have been able to lay down their differences and come together. But till today, I no go agree. I ain't dey make pant tear, I ain't dey tear pant. I no go agree. Pant don't tear. So, all those people will tell you, hey, we move. Move to where? Where are you moving to? Ruby Michael would ask you, or Dumeje, or Obeko Dugeje. That is the question you should ask yourself. Nkere, while you have your Prime Minister, while Maz Simon Ekpa was much available, Nkere have always enjoyed accolade. Orabueze have always enjoyed accolade. The proof of integrity. There is something that Simon Ekpa held so sacred. He has even warned his cabinet members. What is that? That when it has to do with this defense, please, everyone should steer clear. Steer clear. That he has the people he works with when it comes to the issue of defense. But we are coming there. So on the politics, Nkere was outsmarted. So his rudeness was a minus for him. Orabueze's political tact was a plus for her, where the cabinets are involved. So you'll always hear Nkere only had 9 support from the cabinet. So then that's what we were told. And I to an extent believe that. But something has to be visited. Since you can agree with me that when Simon Ekpa said we will dissolve, it wasn't immediately. And where it is not immediately, it is not on that ground. It's an affront. It's an affront. It's a slap on the face of the whole movement. That was why the Eritrean man said already that he can say that this house is so divided, and that there is no house that is divided that can make any headway, any progress. The man said it there. He can smell. He said, you people need to put your house together. Yes. The man said it, the Eritrean man. Go and check back. He already saw they were divided. While Orabueze was talking, it was written over her. While Nkere was talking, his whole body language was telling of it. How do you want to move? From there, from there. You did not even wait to go home. There. Now coming to the real logic. We will dissolve the house. Who is the we? Who is the we to dissolve the house? Orabueze, when did you become we? Now leaving the issue of we. Who has the authority to do that, such a sensitive thing? Orabueze, you were appointed by Simon Ekpa. Nkere, like every other cabinet member, were appointed. Nkere was appointed, just like other cabinet members, by the same Simon Ekpa. So why do you think Nkere, if you don't have any ulterior motive, why do you think Nkere will just sit down and watch you fold his hand and watch you as a woman dissolve him as a fully appointee? And he will just clap for you. Maybe the next Sunday he will be in his church organizing a Thanksgiving ceremony that Orabueze dissolved him. Since you people have overbearing interest. The thing that is manifesting today that is unknown to many Biafrans is that the two people have been having issues for over 8 months in-house. Orabueze is not a poor woman. Nkere is not a poor woman. Against all the blackmail you are saying today, Nkere is not a poor man. They were once clapping for this Nkere. At least a lot of you know Nkere from the time of Nnamdi Kanu. So he has always been a very heavy donor. When they bring all this black men, Nkere is from Mojo Local, Nkere is from Tinubu, Nkere is from this, from that. Was it the same Tinubu and Mojo Local that planted him to donate during the time of Nnamdi Kanu? Let's not dive into that side yet. A fellow appointee dissolving a government by a fellow appointee. How does authority come? You are quick to say you have outgrown the level of agitation, government in exile. Okay, so now you have declared a country. So do you want to start the country with abnormality? First of all, nobody was antagonizing you as the chief of staff, who were also, carrying out some assistive responsibility. You were undeterred, unhindered. So why then there's so much interest in the other title, Deputy Prime Minister? The people that gave you that advice didn't mean well for you, unless you are really an enemy of the struggle. If you are not an enemy of the struggle, in reality, having compromised with them, then the people who advised you on this, they are very destructive. They never mean well. There is the position of a deputy chief of staff. I have said that before now. You are a diplomat, you are a political advisor to members of the cabinet, to the person that appointed you. Then in extension, through his consent, you can advise other members. But you and I know, you are not rooted into any strong political culture that you should be proffering political advice, help to members of the cabinet. Of course, you are looking for a Biafra, which is supposed to be a sane society, where people should fit in for what they can do better. I was listening to Mommy Rose. She said why she turned down certain appointments and insisted on that humanitarian side, that she's a nurse and all her life she have known only about humanitarian aid. And that's why she wanted to remain in that side. Because you are looking for a more sane society. You are a nurse. So why are you struggling and fighting so hell-bent on a political office, which you know you don't have what it takes to? For you to handle that office of a chief of staff, you need to be a diplomat. You need to be a diplomat. No two ways about it. No two ways about it. You must be grounded politically. From what you have demonstrated within this 1 month interval, it shows you have no headway. You don't have any clue to anything political. If you had wanted to play the politics that you are playing with genuinity, or if you know you are clear-hearted, or you don't mean to destroy the structures of Simon Ekpa, simple thing. Simply, you go on underground with your lobby when you know you have secured the necessary votes. You insist on we going into vote. That is if you know. Because you are telling people that Simon Ekpa will soon address us, will soon address us, will soon address us, will soon address us. If you are really sure you are working for Simon Ekpa's freedom, and you are sure he will soon be free to address us, why in a haste to destroy everything he has labored for? Then, if you know that Simon Ekpa is going in for a longer time, and there is need to fill that vacuum officially, and you are so very interested, and you know you are ready to relinquish your work, because even at the struggle level, the task of a primus is so very overwhelming. Now, how much more when you have come up with the idea that you have restored the state? It's now, you now have a united state. And you were bold to tell people in the space that you are not ready to relinquish, to abdicate your work, or to give up your work, because you said, according to you, according to your words, you have your family to feed, you have bills to pay, so you are not ready to relinquish your work as a chief nurse or nurse. Then why are you so? Because when I think about it, I said, you once fooled also, because most of us thought of Nkere was the devil on the cross. Why are you, if you want to do it, why are you in a haste to, if you know Simon is coming out? Then if you know he's not coming out, why not do the right thing? You have left the level of mere agitator. You are now a government. Even though you still like yourself, you are no more in exile. So I wonder where you are. If you're not in exile, come home. Okay? And take over your territory. Then, why didn't you arrange for a more diplomatic process, a more acceptable process, which should be a full-time political process where Biafrans will vote? Because it's no more a cabinet thing. You said you have declared a country, so why not do the right thing? Or because what you are doing is going to be worse than the situation all of us are facing here in Nigeria. Is going to be very worse off. In all the platforms, anybody that antagonizes you, before you were telling them to remove the people, now you are removing by yourself. Anybody that doesn't share views with you, the person is a traitor. That's the language you are using now. The person is a traitor. But in all fairness, if we are to point fingers rightly, you are the real traitor here now. Unless for those who don't believe that Simon Ekpa is genuine. But anyone who believes that Simon Ekpa is genuine can only see you as the arch enemy. Why not arrange for an election? Okay, if you say that you are not yet matured enough to go for the election online, why then do you think that the election, the plebiscite, the referendum that produced 50 million is valid? Why? Oh, it is valid when it is about a plebiscite. It is not valid when it will produce a result. That's a peaceful result. All right. We will dissolve the cabinet. I heard somebody yesterday, Friday, saying, oh, those who are shouting charter, did they even read the charter? I said, with this leg, people who are ignorant of things want to counter people who are not really ignorant of a thing. The charter is very clear, especially as regards these issues. Once you say this is a government, everything now must follow a due process. Once it is a government, everything now follows a due process. Last time when I did a video in the group, I said there is the legal maxim that can never be ignored. You are just an appointee. Like in the eyes of law, they say the delegate cannot redelegate. You are delegated to carry out this responsibility of the responsibility of a chief of staff. You can't use it to redelegate, and even the same office. You can't redelegate the same office. How much more are you now delegating another office? Delegatus non posted delegari. That is the Latin phrase, legal maxim. Now, the trust that you want people to believe that Simon Ekpa have, we will declare, and you see yourself as a person to dissolve. Oh, we will dissolve. So you see yourself as the person that is the we. How? Simon Ekpa did not even do anything as Simon Ekpa. He did anything he did as a man wielding authority, legal authority. Legal. To correct this, I did this correction in the group in different platforms. The office of Deputy Prime Minister is a nullity. It's not a legal office. A very handful of states practiced it, and they said no, it's useless, it's not possible. India, around June or July, India as a place that practiced that deputy prime ministerial office. India interpreted it as a non-legal office. It's a non-legal and non-official. It's a non-legal and a non-official office. Then, in a former state, you need to tell the people what model of statehood are you practicing. That is why it is important that people should understand that you cannot be running away from Nigeria and be going into a Warsaw arrangement. The kind of arrangement that Orabueze is leading you in or to is a doom up front. It's a doom state up front. Doom up front. Because there is nothing legitimate about. There's nothing progressive about it. Nothing about it will bring peace. It's going to be a tug of war. No wonder my friends who deserted me because of this Biafran agitation, they hammered on this, that Igbo man cannot lead himself. They are Igbo people, though. I'm not talking about all my Hausa friends and the Yoruba friends. No. Those ones already, we stop having business together. I'm talking about my Igbo friends. Because they saw this whole thing as a chariot, as a joke, as a toy in the blood. To the extent that some people will say, oh, you and this your Biafran cynicism. That is so cynical. They went as far as saying it's not realizable. Not that the Igbo man, if he is organized, cannot, given his natural capacity, but because of his overbearing interest that will always amount to absolute foolishness and unimaginable stupidity, so stupendously idiotic. That's what the Igbo man. An Igbo man is stupendously idiotic. How can you be running away from frying pan, which has a little fire resistance, then you are going inside the flame itself? For those of you that will not be happy with me, when I see the response from this, if it comes from Orabueze or from any reasonable person from Orabueze's fold, because I know Nkere cannot, I have not seen Nkere being very antagonistic or fighting anyone that disagrees with him openly. So it is only the Orabueze and her camp that does that. Everybody is a traitor. I've not seen Nkere calling people traitors, no matter how I agree with him. I can never agree with Nkere anyways. I can never agree with him. I can only agree with him to the extent that, let's even put this threat. Let us put this threat. Orabueze want people to believe that Simon Ekpa trusts him so much that he is the second Simon Ekpa that everybody is saying. Or she is the second Simon Ekpa. Simon Ekpa has, I think, 3 security platforms. And according to Simon Ekpa, that the most sacred part of the whole movement is that security and defense platforms. And Orabueze is not included in any of these platforms. And Nkere, success are included in these 3 platforms. It can only be wise for somebody who want to falter Nkere when it has to do with this defense and security to say that Simon Ekpa is having some shady deals with Nkere. It can only be logical. If you want to indict Nkere, you must indict Simon Ekpa alongside. That is to say, Simon Ekpa is having shady deals with Nkere and the success that the cabinet members doesn't know. And that the men on ground are having shady deals with Nkere and success that the Biafrans don't know. Because from everything from the men on ground, none of them want anything Orabueze. Orabueze is forcing herself to get access to them. They have come even before they were trying to keep their peace. But now they have come to make it open. That it must remain the way Simon Ekpa made it. They are comfortable with it. That Nkere success are the people they have been working with alongside Ekpa himself, and they are comfortable with them. And for their security, they don't want another party to be involved. And this is the most sacred, the most hallowed of Simon Ekpa's whole movement. So how do you want to prove to Biafran people today that you are the woman after Simon Ekpa's own heart? That you are today coming to tell Biafrans that you are more intelligent than Simon Ekpa, you have more action than Simon Ekpa, you are more powerful than Simon Ekpa, that is why you cannot tolerate all the nonsense Simon Ekpa was tolerating. Oh, that these people have, the blackmail is too much. Oh, these 2 people have been, Simon Ekpa has been dying in silence all along. Oh, but now you have come to end the nonsense. So you are more powerful than Simon Ekpa, and he couldn't end the nonsense. You are the one that can end the nonsense. You can see it. Because the truth is, there is something they remove from meat before meat is boiled and set for eating, ready for eating. That's what the woman said. There is something you must remove from the meat before you boil it. You can't just pick up a whole animal and begin to boil it and eat. No. There is a reason why the cocoyam, when you go to the cocoyam stem, when you touch it, it will do. There is a reason. There is this friction that makes for that sound from the two stems, because it's usually two stems. There is this friction from the lapping, from the fitting, that causes that. There is a reason why Simon Ekpa allowed you to function in that capacity as a chief of staff. And you know the duties of a chief of staff. You help the cabinet, you help the person that appoints you, and by extension those members of the cabinet, to carry out their day-to-day task, especially giving political advices. But you don't have political experience. So you are left in that office at the agitation level. If Simon Ekpa is to come out today and resolve the cabinet, you know that you can retain, now that there is this declaration, or a declaration to restore the state of Biafra, which now the name has changed from Federal Republic of Biafra to United States of Biafra. So now Simon Ekpa cannot be keeping you, because there is now more reason for political activities. There's going to be more political responsibility, so you can't even maintain that office. So the resolving will definitely affect you. Nkere may likely also be losing that office too, because to me, in all fairness, any man that cannot be open office of finance, the responsibility of managing finance is a very sensitive one and requires unadulterated transparency, openness, accountability. Even a village meeting, anything that, any organization that has people's monies involved, requires that there is a high sense of transparency and accountability. That is why some people have the guts to, blackmail you today, Nkere, that all the money that you spend is still the Biafran people's money, and you can't prove otherwise because you did not do the right thing. How can you be managing public fund, and no matter how much you are giving, you must carry out that responsibility with so much openness? You must be very transparent to carry it out. You must be very transparent. The truth must be told. So apart from your rudeness, your inability to dispense your duties with utmost transparency is a big deficit, it's a minus to you. That is why the campaign against you succeeded among the cabinet and those who believe in the cabinet. So the length and breadth of it, the long and short of the story is that neither you, Nkere, nor Orabueze, you have now said, I saw what I watched, what I was just laughing. And now you said your assistant, okay, you say you are acting, you are acting prime minister, pending when Simon Ekpa comes out. I have worked in different groups trying to provide solution by asking for people to do things. I gave a solution. I gave, for those who will be fair, I gave something that should be done so that Simon Ekpa will be free. But it appears that two of you, none of you want the man to be free. And when it is like that, I am left with no option than to believe that two of you are working for that man never to have his freedom, so that you can be a deputy prime minister, and from deputy prime minister now prime minister to assistant, or what do you call it? Is it what? Okay, Nkere, what do you say your own is? Assistant or? Yeah, it's not assistant. I just said it now. Yes, think interim prime minister. Acting prime minister. Just position. That's just what the two of you are interested in. Okay, do the right thing for this position. Why not push for election? Or election can only be valid when you want to say there is a referendum. Your only election can only be possible, so it can only be held valid only when it's about referendum. So when it's about the organization of the body, it will not be valid. It can't be organized. Or you are afraid of organizing, none of you have the capacity to organize this. Whatever is your difference. So it is either that two of you are working with the government to have Simon Ekpa permanently in disappearance mode, or you just want to use his absence to enthrone yourself. It must be either of this. It must be either of these. You cannot operate in a civil and more democratic manner as an agitating body, as a agitating self-determination movement, and now you say you have restored the state, the country. Now you become undemocratic. Like all of you said, Simon Ekpa did not become prime minister himself. He was voted by all of you members of the cabinet when it was at the agitation level. Today is a state. So why now will the agitation level be more civil, more organized, and more positive than the restored state? You can see that none of you is being truthful to yourselves unless you are almost, which is not even far away from the truth. That is the truth. If any of you sends people to attack me, if you send people to antagonize or to attack me, you stand to be, let me save it, but if you dare it, and of course, like I said, if you are disappointed, please, as your cup of tea. That is my sincere position, which is done in all fairness, in all honesty. Not to side anybody, but to say the truth as it is. None of you mean well. You have already destroyed the whole thing almost irreparably. Almost irreparably. I think it was Arise TV News or having a program. Somebody shared it in our platform some hours ago, about 6 to 8 hours ago, where the person, Nigerian, one of Nigerian ambassadors, okay, there were two men there. They were discussing on the statement of irreversibility of the stance of the three Sahel region countries, Niger, Burkina, and Mali. their statement of irreversibility of their resolve, of their stance, not to join ECOWAS again, never to join ECOWAS again. So the man said something, so maybe you can bank on that. The man said something like, well, no one can just say irreversible for now, so far life is on. But maybe there is a still possibility of, but one thing you should know, a thing that involves women, men might fight today and settle tomorrow, or even settle the same day. But and the level of blackmail that has gone is a very crazy one, to the extent that the Orabueze's media warriors, some of them who have no iota of self-respect, or who have who don't have any image, integrity to protect. They went as far as coming to indict Simon Ekpa. I said, it was at that moment I said, I think I will be doing a program to spill the beans, and afterwards I will go on exile. I will go on exile because this whole thing has inevitably become a joke. It has become a joke, honestly speaking. That Butunzo and all the hardcore men on ground, the leaders of the men on ground, that they have been involved in kidnap all along. So the person is the person that have been fighting that is the one you call Ikenguruago. That he has been an enemy of Biafra, he has been that, he has done that. This is the same person today that is coming to now tell you that. And this is what Ikenguruago have been saying. So that is to say, Ikenguruago has been correct all along. That Simon Ekpa is leading a criminal enterprise that has been kidnapping and doing all sort of security evil, or committing or constituting security nuisance in our land. When you, the Orabueze family and family, not her family, her media family warriors, are now turning out to say that Orabueze is the what do you call him? The Rose, who is the Commander Butuzo, and his men are all involved in kidnapping activities. That is to say, the Simon Ekpa, who is the man that funded them, is a leader of criminal enterprise. He's a leader of criminal enterprise. He has been actually funding. That is now the point you now begin to connect some dots. These are Orabueze's media warriors. Simon Ekpa is the person that funded the Butuzo and his men. And the other lady said that the monies coming to these people have been diverted by Butuzos and the other leaders of the men on ground, like Holy Ghost, that the boys men on ground, now drink only gare. So one is that the money sending to them are diverted. Two is that what they actually do is carrying out kidnaps. Now this is how it can be driven home that Orabueze, who have not come out to debunk or undo that error, that wrong, or say to debunk that assertion, is in support of that assertion. And with that assertion, who knows how much more of such information have been supplied to Finnish authority. No wonder some people say Orabueze was there 4 days before the event, and the other people say Nkere also went there even after the event. So it will not be wrong for anybody to link Nkere and Orabueze as people who have been in God knows what reason, been meeting with the Finnish authority, supplying information to Finnish authority to indict Simon Ekpa into a journey of no return. And there is a way of grudges, there is a way, age-long grudges, for people who keep long grudges, deal with people they laugh with. The person will be laughing with them, they don't know. Maybe because the person rebuked them openly. Because Simon Ekpa rebuked people when you do the wrong thing. So maybe these people have been bearing grudges. Because we have been hearing from different sides. This one trying to indict Nkere. This one tried to indict Orabueze. And at the end of the day, but for now, what is more obvious is that Nkere returned after the event. Orabueze went before the event, and after the event remained there, and has not done anything significantly to the knowledge of the Biafran people who have been asking her, when is Simon coming? What is the condition of Simon? What is the whole situation? Even when some people like us gave a solution, it's, if I would post now in the same platform, she would post in the next few seconds, meaning she was there and she's seen. So one will be forced to doing some connection of the dots. Why are the two going or staying back there after the event? Some other media warriors of Orabueze said, who is the person to question a woman or somebody that chooses to spend her holiday in? No problem, it is right. But when these issues are now coming up, and she was even proved to have been given some security on that day, but no tangible information comes as regards the whereabouts of this man. And her media aides, her media warriors are coming to give details that indicts this Simon. That the men on ground which Simon always hallow, always talk about, boast about, show their the pictures of their activities every day with pride. Now the media warriors of Orabueze are today telling the world that these same people are, after all, kidnappers. And it is Simon Ekpa that found these kidnappers. And somebody is telling somebody not to, reason about the whole thing. The information that the Finnish authority have about Simon Ekpa constituting security threats, that means it is either that Simon Ekpa has actually been carrying out these security threats, and the Biafran people are unknown to this. These things are unknown to the Biafran people. They are doing because they want to be free, or that Simon Ekpa is doing this thing in the interest of, and not kidnap, but because some people want to take or enjoy that his position, or some people want to enjoy something from the Nigerian government. I saw a video posted by the Nkere faction of Orabueze. I saw the interview, not the just posting, they did not gossip. I saw the video. But where I was concerned about the video is the date. Orabueze was having an interview with Nigerian government agent, and she restated her resolve of having a good Nigeria. And this is 2023. And this 2023 is while Orabueze was in the cabinet of Simon Ekpa. So I don't want to post any video here. Ask of that video. I'm very sure the Nkere people will gladly give you that video if you want to watch it. I have also seen accusations against Nkere, having contact with George Okalo, having this one. But in all fairness, I have not seen any proof of any allegation against Nkere, not even one till today. I will be happy to see. So all the allegations against Nkere till date, till this minute, are still mere speculations, mere propaganda, mere blackmail until any one of it is proven. The only things I know is Nkere's rudeness and unaccountability. But when it comes to linkage with the Nigerian government, it is not true. So far, there is no proof. And Biafrans want to have a proof so that they know where they stand. When it comes to the issue of account, now let us take it. An account during the time of aid, when it was time to give aid palliative to Biafran people, Ekpa asked that account be given to him. An account was provided. It was an Islamic account, Islamic bank. This is that same bank they were debating around 4 or 5 months ago in the Senate. Okay, I think it was in the lower house. It was also debated in the Senate. Some of you who follow the political developments at home here in Nigeria, you know what I'm talking about. Where they were talking about Islamization. That Islamization angle is not just Islamization as a whole. It's about the bank. It's about these financial institutions. Is it a Taj or something? That is that same account that was provided during the palliative, because it wasn't somebody Biafrans provided it and it was legal. Nobody can withhold any money that is meant for charity all over the world. Nobody can withhold it. So far the money is meant for charity and it will be monitored until it goes to the people that need it for charity. Now the twist of this whole thing now is also the other one they call the other one foreign account, New Dimension. Now Simon Ekpa was very clear about these things. He said that these accounts will have no business other than palliative. It can only be used for palliative. Any money that enters to this account can only be used for palliative. So anything outside palliative should not go into this account, because any money that goes there cannot go out except it is used for palliative. And I know that Orabueze is very, very well educated. She's a doctor. She's very well educated, so she knows what it means. So she don't need any interpreter. So every money that she's telling people to donate today. Now, one can easily say that Orabueze wants to have the Biafran people get frustrated on the long run, where after they have donated money for the defense, and this money can't be withdrawn for the peoples. Now, at the end of the day, it can only go for sale. So Biafran people cannot tomorrow be willing to donate another money after that one has been withheld, because they have sacrificed a lot. They are not seeing the result. So when this money end up being withheld, since it cannot be used except for palliative reasons, now you ask, what is the reason for this? And when some people say Biafra is a spirit, Biafra is a spirit, Biafra is a spirit, Biafra is a spirit, ask them, how is this Biafra a spirit? Let me tell them. When it regards this accounting issue, Biafra can be said to be a spirit connecting to how this account was generated. Do you know that the account that Simon Ekpa is using today for all these things, defense, is this same account that was used during the time of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? And through the political know-how of Simon Ekpa, Simon Ekpa was able to work with Nelly Ofebu, knowing that Nelly was not a very good person to work with, but Simon Ekpa still worked with him. When his assignment with Nelly Ofebu was over, he had to kick out Nelly Ofebu. He is a diplomat. So you that should concern yourself with how to give injections and how to diagnose patients, people who have health challenges. Why are you fighting so hard to have your feet in the shoes of a political personnel? You know you don't have any business with politics, but because of your nature of dominance, you want to just be in charge. Simon Ekpa work even with the enemy. So assuming Nkere is a traitor, Simon Ekpa have been working with him because Simon Ekpa knows that there is something to get from him. Nnamdi Kanu worked with him because Nnamdi Kanu knows there is something to get from this Nkere. Today, you are telling Biafran people that Nkere is a criminal. That was why he was using a wrong name. He's a Nigerian agent. Let us be very logical here. If Nkere is a Nigerian agent, do he need to hide his real identity? He don't need to hide his real identity because he don't have anything to lose. Nigeria is his own. So he will not hide his identity. He don't have any need hiding his identity because after all, nothing will happen to him. But you are telling us you can't hide your own identity. You, first of all, you are the one that in the Twitter space, you said you had a conversation with the brother to Edo State Governor, Obaseki. And the people don't even know what is this, who is this Obaseki's brother. This is a politician. Obaseki's brother, he leading a lot of political platforms in Edo State. So he is a Edo State politician. And Simon Ekpa told you, he doesn't have, since he started the struggle, he don't have, in fact, even Nnamdi Kanu's barristers, the ones that are political, he cut ties with them. Barrister Maxwell even said it to your hearing in his interview with Arise TV. He said, all the attempts to reach out to Simon Ekpa keep cutting them off. Even when he gave him an appointment, he told him to book hotel, he booked hotel, stayed 3 days. Simon Ekpa still didn't even have anything with him. Because he don't want to have any dealing with them. So, between you and Nkere, you have very countless reasons why every sane Biafran should link you to political dealings, or should, say you have political affiliation with the Nigerian political actors. You can't deny it. The interview you had with the lady, where you said, and that date there as contained in that video is 2023. This is why you were still a cabinet member of Simon Ekpa, to Simon Ekpa's Biafra president. So, who is the second who? So, all the people you are calling traitors, they might be traitors too, but for now, nobody can link them to any involvement with Nigerian state, which is the reason you say they are traitors. One can only link you. There is countless evidences why you can be associated or be tangibly linked to involvement. Today, like I have just said, your media warriors are saying that Simon Ekpa's men are kidnappers. That is to say, Simon Ekpa is leader of kidnappers. And you are calling him Obatobie today, and you want Biafrans to agree with you that you are the one that loves Simon Ekpa. But in reality, with every sense of logicality, you don't mean well. You don't mean well. I know. I am waiting maybe in the next 1 hour, in the next 1 day, to be enlisted in maybe in the New Dimension Traitors. My name might be appearing in the New Traitors. But sorry, I am not interested in anything you are doing. Neither what Nkere is doing nor what you are doing, because none of you have anything to offer. As regards the Biafra movement, as a matter of fact, I am begging, I'm not begging, I am stepping up to, I am embarking on my sabbatical leave. Maybe after this particular broadcast, I am embarking on a sabbatical leave. I cannot be associated with a Biafra of morons. I will not be associated with a movement where people are not concerned with what makes for righteousness, what makes for righteousness, political righteousness. In this regard, people are not afraid of stains. They don't care about integrity. People don't. You cannot be coming out from frying pan only to jump into the lake of fire. Your display of arrogance also, the way you want to assert authority, the way you carry yourself, the way you want to show audaciousness. Oh man, come on. Come on. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Till today, you have proven that you don't have any leeway to political ability to organize. In your hands, everyone is running helter-skelter. The men on ground now are traitors. Your colleagues who don't share view with you. What about if Vam is a traitor? No problem. If Nkere is a traitor, if Ekpa is a traitor, what of Vision 555 and the other people you once enlisted in your appointment? You can see how you have shot yourself on the leg. If these other persons who did not appear in your list are traitors, okay, what about these ones? Because you say that everyone you are putting in your list, you know their pedigree. You are doing that everyone who appears in your current list of New Dimension must be people of good character, and it's based on qualification. Okay. The appointment you gave to these persons who now abdicated, I will not even say abdicated, they did not even accept the offer in the first place. So they did not abdicate. They rejected your offer. And immediately they reject your offer, the next thing I saw in the media is they are now included as traitors. So Vision 555 man also is a traitor because you refuse to agree to what is not legal. How do you want to tell any rational human that you were running a freedom agitation movement and it looked somehow democratic? Now you have a full-scale state restored. You don't want it to run according to constitution. Then where are you actually leading these people to? Then what is the essence of the document? So you wasted people's resources trying to put those documents together as a working tool for governance. So today, the document is not useful. It can only be useful to the extent you want it to be. So where it doesn't agree with Orabueze wants, those documents can still be put on pause until Orabueze wants it to be useful. Oh, now the black men will say these people shouting chatter. Why wouldn't they shout chatter? You told them you are no more a government in exile. You are now a country. You are now a state. Now, where are you running that country from? Or are you telling me that your doctoral degree doesn't offer you the opportunity of knowing what exile means? Are you telling me that your doctorate degree is in the Nigerian normal way? Because if it is not, I don't know why you are still arguing with people that they are still in exile. Where are you? Come back to homeland. So that all this gender weed that are disturbing us will leave us. If the Butos and his men are not doing anything, at least we don't want the kidnappers. No same person want kidnappers. So since Butos now is kidnapper, which is Butos and the other men on ground are kidnappers, and like your media people have stated and you kept mute about it, means because we say in politics that silence sometimes in law it means acceptance. So since your media men said they are kidnappers and Simon Ekpa is their sponsor, So Simon Ekpa is a sponsor of kidnappers, and you are okay with it. It's not no problem. So why not you now come and chase away the kidnappers? Or you don't want us to be free of the kidnappers in our land? Eh? You don't want us to be free of kidnappers? Hey, you must try to make us free of kidnappers. Madam, I don't want to dwell on this issue for too much longer. Like I said, I am going on my sabbatical leave. You can see, like, it is a normal thing in Nigerian states. NEPA have interrupted the power supply. So my own power supply for the broadcast at this moment could be said to have been interrupted as well. So thank you, au revoir, Stephanie, until I hear from you. If I hear from you, if I hear from your media rats, then I will know how to come. And believe you me, that we try to be very civil doesn't mean none of those your riffraffs can do anything. All those your oh yes. To be very specific, to be very, very specific and frank, why it took me this long to respond to you, when I look at the personalities of Dr. Mrs. Agi, and I look at the presence of Pastor Mrs. Rose, and a very handful of others of their caliber, I have been very sluggish coming forward. But then, the needful has to be done. So thank you. Until I hear from you. Thank you. Fellow Biafrans, I don't expect all of you to be happy with this broadcast. I know it's very brutal and somehow fierce to your to what you want, what you expected today. It has come the way it needs to come. So thank you. Till then.